Hello, Taos. We're back again with our biweekly education forum, and we are pleased again to be here with Anita Bringus and Dr. Lillian Torres. And Dr. Torres has brought a very special guest today, and we deeply apologize. We had Dr. Patrick Valdez on earlier. The Facebook live stream had a glitch. So we are attempting to recover his farewell talk to Town of Taos, and we will republish that if we can recover the Zoom video. So again, Dr. Valdez had kindly made time to join us. We are so sorry that his portion of Facebook Live was cut short because he had some very important things to say to the community about him leaving. So I'm going to turn it over now to Dr. Lillian Torres. Dr. Torres?
Thank you, Stacy, and it's so nice to be here with you and Anita, as we always have these wonderful educational forums. And I just want to thank Taos for really important to continue our communication. I wanted to just start off by letting you know that last night our school board at our board meeting made a decision to continue using the remote model end of the third 9 weeks. So that takes us to about March the 11th, which is right before spring break. So after spring break, the last 9 weeks, we're hoping to begin the hybrid model. We are going to continue monitoring and see if we are ready. There are many districts who have closed for the semester already. We are so we will have a parent letter out by this afternoon. And I also wanted to put in a plug for the communication tool called Let's Talk. Remember at the last forum, Taos News Forum, I did a presentation on Let's Talk. And what this is anytime you're trying to get a hold of us with our buildings closed, and sometimes you call and you can't get a hold of us, if you go on our website and you go to the middle of the page on the homepage, click on Let's Talk, and you'll be able to give us ask a question, give us a suggestion, a concern, or compliment. So please use this communication tool. It's really, really important that we get back to you, that we meet the needs of every child, every parent, and every community member. So please use this Let's Talk, and we will continue to get more public relations out for this and do more of a continuously as we come back from our winter vacation. So we do have this week, tomorrow, and then we have 5 more days before we are on Christmas break until January 4th. That will be the first day back for the staff. But then on Tuesday, January 5th, the remote model starts again. And I had wanted to put in a plug for, we did apply for 26 grants and received all of them. These grants are really helping us provide instructional coaches for our teachers, parent engagement coordinator, 2 part-time social emotional learning coordinators that are working closely with me to develop the SEL learning plan, the 10-year plan that we are working on. In fact, right after this meeting, we'll be meeting with the Dallas Independent Schools. I think they've already started the meeting. I'll join them after this to continue working on our social emotional learning plan. So the topic for today is to thank our community groups, our community members. And I have a special guest with us today. We have a senior from Taos High School. Her name is Janea Trujillo, and she is our reporter for board meetings. And she is doing tremendous work for us. She's an excellent student, and I really love everything that she has been doing. And I think her goal is to become an educator. So I'm even more excited about that. I really want to have her, what she's going to be doing right now is talking to you a little bit about being on the remote model and being a senior. What has it been like? What are the challenges? What has she liked about it? And then after that, I'm going to have Janaea help me name all of the community groups. We want to thank them so much. And there are so many groups. I think there are 78, and there's probably more than that, that we will be naming just to thank them. And then we're also going to put this on the website. So Janaea, would you like to start?
And Dr. Valdez and Janaea, just real quick, we do have Dr. Valdez back with us. So Janaea, after you talk, Torres, if you don't mind, I'd like to let Dr. Valdez go ahead and repeat his wonderful speech.
No problem.
And then we'll come back to you all. So Janaea, we'll go to you next, okay?
Okay, thank you, Stacy, and thank you, Dr. Torres. Hello, my name is Janaea Trujillo, and I'm a senior at Taos High School. I am one of the student school board representatives, senior class president, and co-captain of the Taos varsity cheer team. Some of the challenges of remote learning is a social aspect in that you miss the in-person connections at school. I miss seeing my teachers and my friends in a face-to-face setting. Digital access and connectivity remain a challenge. For example, there are times that you're having audio or video issues while you are in the virtual class. Some positives of remote learning is that it is more self-paced. I personally have grown up quite a bit in this type of setting. I've had to learn how to manage my time and become more responsible. There is a certain level of discipline and self-drive that you have to learn. Even though it was tough at first, students and staff have shown incredible resilience and resourcefulness. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So I think Dr. Valdez has a 2:30 meeting. I don't know if he has a moment to join us now. I'm so sorry, Dr. Valdez. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, this is how Taos is, you know, just when you think you know us and understand how technologically oriented we are, we fail you. Okay.
Hey, no, not at all. Basically, it was just a practice run. I thought we were just, practicing. But I'm actually really glad that I was able to jump back on. So thank you for reaching out so that I could share my my many thanks with community. And I really enjoyed also seeing the Janaea just talk about her experiences. I mean, when I think about the mission of education and higher education specifically, because that's been my area for the last 25 years or so, it's about making sure that students know they have access to post-secondary education opportunities. So whether that's, a 2-year to 4-year or a certificate program that then gets stacked into an associate's degree, that then goes into a 4-year. I mean, we'd love all of our students to have aspirations to transfer if that's what they wanted to do. But by the same token, we know that there's a lot of great opportunities in our certificate programs. And so we support them, 100%. But I'm not sure what the setup was this time around, but as many as you may know, I announced last week that I was going to be stepping down as Chancellor of UNM-Taos at the end of December. And this was an opportunity for me to come on to make sure that I was able to give my thanks in a public forum to the residents, the citizens of Taos and Taos County and the northern New Mexico area for all of the support that they have given UNM-Taos and ostensibly me while I've been here serving as Chancellor. And we've focused on 3 things. I said this before. One was that we wanted to be student-centered. We wanted to make sure that we provided services to all students in this area who wanted to have an opportunity to increase their options in life. We have collaborated closely with community organizations. We wanted to make sure that we did everything that we could to collaborate and to partner. We've got a great partnership with the Taos News. In large part, one of our really big initiatives and first initiatives when I got here was a Stay Local, Think Global, Go Locals campaign. And without the Taos News and so many of the other news groups in town, we wouldn't have been able to push that forward. And we're starting to see now, it's starting to really take shape and take form. Then the other thing we wanted to do is to make sure that students in this area knew that they weren't settling for second-rate education if they had no other option but to start their education at UNM-Taos. And I'd say this to anybody in the community. Obviously, it's going to be, you can't do this really during COVID, But other than take a drive out, but if you've never driven out to the Clower campus, I would encourage you to get out there on County Road 110 and see the wonderful buildings that we have out there. And this March, we're going to break ground on a brand new building that we're going to be building out there called the Pathways Building. It's going to house our career center, our library. It's going to house our tech program, which is focused on high school equivalencies. And so we want to make sure that students at all levels know that they have a place on our campus. And so we've done all these things over the last several years to make sure that the community knew that we were thankful for all the support that we've received through the GEO bonds. Those buildings that are being put up in our infrastructure comes from GEO bond money, and Taos County historically and always is almost highest in the state around support for our GEO bonds. And we couldn't do the things that we're doing out there with our buildings had not been for that support. And so I want to thank you guys so much for letting me feel at home. This is a very special place to me. It's been an honor of a lifetime to serve as Chancellor of UNM Taos and to live here among the Taoseños and the transplants as well, those who are kind of passing through. The mountain accepted me when I first stepped foot here nearly 4 years ago. And it's also telling me that it's okay to move on, and that we've left this place in a good space. And I have all the confidence in the faculty, staff, and the students and the board and the plan that we have moving forward. So again, Stacy, thank you so much for all the work you've done with the Taos News and reaching out for us. Dr. Torres, it's been a pleasure working with you closely to make sure that we advance those pathways. And of course, Anita, all your support on campus and throughout the community representing UNM Taos. And Janae, to you, all of this is really done for you, for students like you, and for students in general to know that you have an opportunity always. So again, thank you guys so much for giving me the time to come back on and say my thanks to the community. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your patience, Dr. Valdez. And I just want to say that we don't often get a whole lot of reactions with our forums, but you just got several hearts. I just want you to know that, you know.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, I feel the same about the community. Like I said, couldn't have done it without you. And I think that we've always put this community front and center when it's come to what we're doing at UNM Taos. And so again, thank you guys so much. And I hate to be rude, but I do have to jump on a 2:30 call. And muchísimas gracias a todos. Ha estado aquí como unos 4 años. Me da mucha felicidad para servirlos y para los estudiantes y para toda la gente aquí está en UNM Taos y también aquí en Taos. Les quiero dar las gracias, lo agradezco, y el momento que yo estaba aquí va a estar conmigo por toda la vida, y les quiero dar las gracias por ese tiempo. Muchísimas.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Dr. Valdez.
Thank you, Dr. Valdez.
Here.
I think I could speak on behalf of the students and faculty and staff and the community at large to say the honor that has truly been ours. And your time with us, albeit brief, has truly been transformative and inspirational. And you'll leave very big shoes to fill. But as I said to you and have said to others, that we are committed to honoring your legacy to make sure that we're continuing on the good work. So I'll be sharing after Dr. Torres finishes her piece for Taos Municipal Schools. I'll be sharing with the campus community. Patrick is, in his nature, he's not leaving us in a lurch, and he's making sure that the students, our support to students will continue on. So I'll be sharing with the community what our transition plan is. And what our plan is for the search for the new chancellor. So our work continues. Thank you, Dr. Valdez, for everything.
Thank you, Dr. Valdez. Thank you, Anita. Dr. Torres, do you and Janea want to pick up where you left off? And thanks for.
Yes. So where we are now at this time, Janea will be helping me with naming all the community groups. And I think I'll do 5 at a time, and then she can do 5. And we really wanted to talk about what each group is doing, but with so many groups, you'll see it on the website. But we just wanted to show our how grateful we are, and we want to continue working closely with our community groups. So I'll start by talking about the Agricultural Implementation Research Education, or AIR. What they do for us is help us with grants for Micah. Really works hard on, she's going to do another $100,000 grant, and this is all for organic food for our children. AT&T has helped us with hotspots last March when we had closed schools. They were able to get us, many districts had to wait 6 months. We were able to get it in 2 weeks. So we were able to get everybody hooked up. Baskin Robbins provided 25 ice creams for our students for a project they had. Big Brothers Big Sisters continues to work really hard with us. Blue Sky Foundation is our aviation program that is now it's K through 12. Students are learning how to fly, and it's an amazing program.
And then we have the Bridges Project, and then we have Comcast, Committee Against Violence, Dream Tree, Essential School-Based Health.
First Presbyterian Church, they have been volunteering and helping us a lot with food service and giving out meals. Girl Scouts New Mexico Trails made so many signs to help people know where to go for food during our in March and during the summer. Good News Church gave food to families and continues to do that. Habitat for Humanity is still working really hard, and our students are partnering with them. The Harvard Museum is still having activities for our children.
And then we have the Holy Cross Hospital, Inspire, Kids One, Kit Carson Internet, Kit Carson Help with Utilities.
We also have the Lano Foundation, who has helped us with stipends for teachers, coats for kids, furniture for our buildings. We have the Lions Club, who is doing vision tests and paying for every child that needs glasses in kinder and first grade. We have local Taos Familias adopting families for the holidays with gifts, stockings, pajamas. We have the Lore Foundation, who has helped with the purchase of some of our hotspots, and also helped pay for some of the people that have written our grants. Los Alamos National Labs, who we continue to partner with, and they will be helping us with our CTE project that you saw advertised a couple of weeks ago.
Los Cumbres Foundation, Millicent Rogers Museum, Mindful Frontiers, Naranjo IT and Web Consulting, and then New Mexico's First Help Building Resilience.
And then we have the New Mexico Alliance for College and Career Readiness, who will be doing a presentation to give us funding for our AVID program. The AVID program helps with our minority students. We have the Nurturing Center, which is located at Enos, and they're working closely with our community schools. We have Paso a Paso. With our preschool kids and our early childhood, we work very closely with them. We have Red Willow, who helps our families and employees with grief counseling and many other things. We have Regional Educational Cooperative, REC2, who gives us a lot of professional development for teachers and many other services. We have Rivers and Birds, who still work closely with us for trips for students to go into the mountains and rivers. We have Rocky Mountain Youth Corps, who continues to work closely with us if we need anything, if we need volunteers.
And then we have the SEL Community Catalyst Group, Dr. Franklin, the Sin Frontera de Nuevo Mexico, the Sin Fronteras Jose and Vanessa Gonzalez,
St. James Church giving backpacks, 75 backpacks every weekend, 5 family food baskets, holiday turkeys. We have State Farm Juan de Lucero, who made little emergency packets for all the teachers. Stray Hearts helps us when we need some of the animals to show during our Soul Soup with the superintendent. T-Mobile gave us $8,000 to buy school supplies for children. Taos Alive is helping volunteering with our SEL small groups. We're having many after school groups. Social emotional learning, we have many volunteers, including Miles Bonney.
Then now moving on to the Taos Behavioral Health, Taos Chamber of Commerce, Taos Community Foundation, Taos Country Club, and Taos County Commissioners.
We also have our Taos County Emergency Services with FEMA, gave us thousands of masks. We have our Taos Farm to School project, which the students are growing the food that we are providing for the cafeteria meals. Taos Feeds Taos, we're partnering with them. And then our Taos Fire Marshal Office has helped us with many our safety protocols for when we go hybrid. And we want to say thank you to our Taos grandmas who made 500 masks.
I'd also like to thank the Taos Immigrant Alliance, Taos Living Center, Taos Mayor Baroni, the Taos Milagro Rotary, Taos Mountain Outfitters that donated sleeping bags and jackets.
TaosNet, who is helping us with our internet provider. Taos Public Library, who is doing a lot of packets and packages that they leave outside for our parents to come and receive books for our children. Taos Pueblo Education Office, we're working very closely with them to help meet the needs of our Native American students. Taos School employees have brought clothing, beds, TV items, and all furniture for families in need. And I really want to highlight the Taos School Zone because they have worked really hard. Last night, they did an excellent presentation. They help us with so much. But last night, what they did is for the school board, they did a survey of our teachers, their collaboration, how they're feeling, what the stress levels is. And the Taos School Zone put all that together for us and will continue working on that. They do many other things like breakfasts for teachers and continue to help Taos schools.
The Taos Ski Valley EMT and Ski Patrol volunteers helping Taos Middle School cafeteria staff hand out meals Fridays all year round. We have the Taos United, the TECC, the Twirl, and UNM Taos.
USDA planning grant, the organic food for student meals. We've had three different kinds of grants with that. Valle del Sol Mental Health, Valle Escondido Golf Community. They had food for backpacks, food for families, food baskets for Thanksgiving. They have purchased shoes, jackets, sleeping bags, blankets, and pillows for our children. Vargas Tile has bought food, backpacks, and many other items for our students. YDI Head Start continues to provide our students from age 8 months to 3 years old, and they are doing an excellent job with our children. Youth Heartline has helped us so much. And then we have Taos News, who we really are grateful for and has helped us get our messages out and communication. We are very thankful for all of these groups. I do want to mention that we have many anonymous donors. For example, one donor just bought 500 headphones, which we will be doing by drive-by. We will be giving it out to all of our students. We need these headphones when the kids are in daycare. or when they're at home, they need to have complete focus and peace and quiet. So this has really been incredible. So many donors want to remain anonymous, and we are so grateful for all of these people. So we really have about 80 groups that we just mentioned, and I know that there's others out there, but we want to say thank you so much to all of our community for everything that they're doing to help us get through the COVID. And we appreciate everything, and we hope that we can continue our partnerships. Janaea, do you want to say anything?
Thank you, Dr. Todes, and thank you to the community heroes. We appreciate everything.
So thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
both very much. Janaea, it was a pleasure having you on with us today, and Dr. Torres. Anita, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Stacy. And wow, Dr. Torres and Janaea, what an amazing list of community collaborations and partnerships. It's really beautiful and shows that it does take a village, not only to raise a child, but to educate from pre-K to K-12 to higher education. And many of those names were familiar as we also collaborate with many of those community organizations as well. So what a wonderful list. There's a lot happening at UNM Taos. I think given Dr. Valdez's earlier announcement, the biggest question on most people's minds is what does that mean for campus? So I'll start by saying that while there's no doubt that Dr. Valdez's resignation leaves a big hole, and we're all feeling the loss of that on campus and in the community, but we are 100% committed to move forward. And as I said earlier, we honor his legacy and the work that he's done and the transformation and the inspiration that he's been for the campus and the community by doubling down to commitment to continue on that work. And we absolutely 100% will do so. To continue on, our first and foremost, most important mission is to serve the community in student success. So you have our commitment. So with that, some of the kind of technicalities about that and the transition plan. Before Dr. Valdez even formally announced his resignation, he wanted to make sure that the campus would be in good hands. And he has great trust in his administrative team and the staff and faculty to move forward. But we did have to identify an interim chancellor because it will be a minimum of 6 to 8 months to start the search process and to conduct the interviews and make the final decision to fill that position in a permanent way. So we're very, very pleased to share that our interim chancellor, that Dr. Cindy Rooney, who's the current chancellor at the Los Alamos branch, has agreed to serve in that capacity and has been appointed to do so by Provost Holloway from UNM main campus. Dr. Cindy Rooney started in Los Alamos as an adjunct instructor, moved on to a full-time instructor, was able to serve as the interim director, and then eventually filled that position on a permanent full-time basis as what we now refer to as a chancellor. So when we were considering the best fit for the interim position, we really felt that Dr. Rooney would be a perfect fit, given her experience with the UNM and the branch system, as well as the higher education department, the legislative process as we're getting into the legislative session in January. She very adeptly navigates the higher education system, both in a local, state, and national level. And in fact, my experience in working with her has largely been in advocacy efforts that we've done at the Capitol in DC. And thanks to the remote nature of our work, Chancellor Rooney will be able to support the Taos campus on a part-time temporary basis as an interim from Los Alamos, where she will continue her full-time commitment to the branch there. Now, the part-time piece, be assured that the administrative leadership team at UNM Taos is fully committed to fill in the gaps and support Dr. Rooney during the transition. And as I said, we are all committed to make sure that we stay focused on our most important role, which is to support student success. So the process for the permanent position, UNM Provost Holloway, James Holloway, who oversees all the branch chancellors, has already begun a search process to fill this position full time. starting with putting together a search advisory committee, which is made up by members of the campus community, students, faculty, staff, administration, as well as members of our the UNM Taos Advisory Board, which also serves as the school board, members of other members of the community, stakeholders, and UNM representatives. The advisory committee will be led by James Malm, who is the chancellor for the Gallup campus. And as soon as we have that committee in place and Provost Holloway has made his appointments, then we can start with that search process. We're fortunate and grateful to also be able to use a firm that will help us in that process to ensure that it isn't a national search, to make sure that we are getting the most qualified candidate to support the community. Of course, we certainly will be looking at all qualified candidates locally and otherwise. So you'll certainly will see that post come out. I encourage anyone here in the community, if you have the qualifications and the interest and the passion, to certainly consider submitting an application for that. So all that being said, you know, we are getting into a bit of a transition time, but if there's one message that I hope the community leaves with, is that the campus will move on and will move forward, and you have all of our commitment to do so. In other news, we will be closed for our winter break, which I think we're all looking forward to given the year, starting on December 23rd, and we'll return to campus on the first week of January. During that time, registration process will remain open. Our classes for spring start in January, officially on the 18th, but given that is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the formally classes will begin on Tuesday, January 19th. So I encourage everybody to, if you're looking especially in this time to start something new, to shift or start a new career or reskill or upskill, I encourage you to take a look at our classes and the different programs that we have available. You can do so at taos.unm.edu. or call 737-6215. We still have our admissions team and advising team all ready to here and available to support you and review your application process. We also have a lot of financial aid and scholarships available for those who qualify. So it could be that given, depending on your eligibility, that you could look at your first year or two of classes at UNM Taos to not have any out-of-pocket expenses. That's not for everybody, but certainly for a great deal of our student population. So again, check out taos.unm.edu or call 737-6215. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you, Anita, very much. And I know everybody in the education realm and elsewhere is looking forward to a Christmas, a holiday break, a good winter break. So, and I echo Anita, Dr. Torres, in saying what an astounding list you and Janaea read off. That's really fabulous and really amazing to realize how many groups can step forward in even a small town in a very rural community like Taos County to help out. So, and please do keep us informed. Let us know how else the community can help. I know there are a lot of people who want to and don't always know how to get involved, don't know who they should call. So thank you all very much. And we look forward to seeing you all in, I suppose, after the Christmas break. I don't know if we all are going to have another forum prior. So we will.
Christmas break, we should continue this.
Definitely, most definitely.
All right.
Take care, Taos, and
Thank you, community. Thank you, Taos News, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you, everybody. Stay well.